Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and it's time once again for our almost end of the year weekly painting progress. Has it already been almost another year? That is absolutely nuts. Well, I know I have stuff from my brother to show off, but unfortunately it is not here right now, and guess what? Neither am I. I am actually on the road as we speak, as you're watching this, at least when it's going up, taking some much needed time for rest and relaxation with the family. I'll be gone for a couple days, but never you fret. I will have plenty of videos up in the meantime, and I can at least look at my emails and comments. I just forgot my login, so I probably won't be able to respond to anything until I actually get home later in the week around Christmas. So hopefully I am staying safe. Hopefully all of you are staying safe, and hopefully you all are going to get a heck of a lot more painted than I am this week, because like I said, I am barely going to be here. But at least we'll have some stuff from Mr. Sparkletrout in the future. But without further ado, I have been busy painting everything almost the same color. I decided to do up my own little warband type deal. So, yeah, it's a little glossy still. I might need to shake up. I got a new matte sealer, and you can see that my bases aren't coming out all bizarre. So that's a good sign. This is a swordsman champion from Saga Minis, who did a cool little Oni Samurai Kickstarter a while back. And they actually have another one coming up where they have some very Soulsborne-esque, FromSoft style dark gothic knights. So if that's something you might be interested in, we'll have a link for their stuff down below, as we do for everybody's stuff. But yeah, so I was trying to originally paint him up like Jubei from Ninja Scroll, and it wasn't really working, so I just kind of rolled with it, and, you know, from a distance, I think it works okay. That's what somebody needs to do. Some Ninja Scroll figures. You guys want to get obscure. Not the movie, the TV show. The TV Ninja Scroll. That was nuts. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and actually I even read the book that it was all based on once upon a time, and I left it on the bullet train. True story. Alright, most of my time this week was actually spent working on Goths, and not the ones that work at Cinnabon like Lord Azrael, Prince of Sorrow, but the ones from Wargames Atlantic. So I went ahead and built up, and we'll save that guy here. Here's some of our non-armored skirmishers. And I gotta say, they're fun little models. Yeah, they're still a little glossy. I thought I blasted them all enough, but obviously not. Even painted his eyes okay. Not super happy with the shield results, but you know what? They're good enough, I think. They don't have that wooden look on the back. I thought, you know, I'll give Victrix credit over Wargames Atlantic in this regard. Wargames Atlantic, you should listen up. You know, at least the Victrix shields often have the backs of them molded and sculpted, so that you can see like the wood paneling and stuff. Maybe I remember seeing that on the Roman infantry, the late Romans. I thought I had one handy, in fact. He's been here whenever I don't need him, and of course, the moment I'm looking for him, I found him. No, it's just, well, I guess kind of. I just did an awful job with him. Someday I'll do some kind of decoration on the shield. But anyway, these two kits, the late Roman infantry and the Goth infantry, are totally compatible. And to prove it to you, I actually went ahead and used some of the Roman bodies with some of the Goth bits to make some armored Goths. I'm not even sure whose arm that is. That might be a Goth arm? Couldn't even tell you. I like this guy. Again, having to come up with shield designs is not fun. This guy just has a plain boring one for that reason. One of the nice things about this kit, too, is, you know, they're just simple tunics, pants, shoes, swords and shields, nothing fancy, nothing really unique and stand-outish about them. So if you wanted, and you weren't playing with someone, if you're not yourself, a big stickler on those historically accurate details, I think this kit can be used for so many different things. You can use them for Gauls, you can use them for, Saxons, whatever you wanted. I mean, they're just, and the fact that the heads are probably easily swappable with just about everything else out there, I think it's a really fun, easy kit to work with. I'm not even sure if this is his original cape. It might be his, or it might be a Irish one. I'm looking around to see if I have any Dark Age Irish handy. At least with a cape. I'm sure I have Dark Age Irish. I've got like a little shelf nook thing here. Well, other than the shield shape, here's a Victrix Gaul. I mean, they look like they match in okay. Obviously, the shield designs are different. I know. Well, gosh darn it, I can't find any of my Irish except this guy, who has way too much shading on him. But again, I think between all these kits, be they Wargames Atlantic, be they Conquest, be they, Victrix, did I say that already? Gripping Beast, I think there's enough, leeway. You could probably get away with using them for just about anything. Okay, who started in this warband? You didn't. You're a Roman. So I was kind of going with like a blue and green vibe. So I don't know why these guys have red and yellow shields. But the other nice thing about this kit is it makes up some great Dark Age archers. Again, nothing really standoutish about them. And I just did a very simple paint job. But my first thought was these guys are perfect for like a Frostgrave game. Maybe they might not be dressed for the occasion as much as some of the actual North Star figures. But you know who is dressed for the occasion? And the reason those guys are all those colors is because I went ahead and painted up one of the new Redbox Games guys from the Warbands of the Cold North. Now, I probably should do something with the shield. And there were a couple of little trouble spots I had with Flash. But I gotta say, especially from a distance, he looks really sharp. But that's what I would expect from a typical Trey Manor sculpt. I think he came out pretty decent, other than the fact that it's just a little too glossy still. But that's easily fixed. And I was really worried, I know I probably mentioned it in a video even, that he seemed rather tall, but when you have him with a bunch of his buddies nearby, he doesn't look all that out of scale with everybody else. Even if he's like fighting Gauls or Romans or Aztecs. Maybe he ended up in a Ghost Archipelago or something. The size isn't too much of a difference, I think. Is it big? Not particularly. Will it work with a lot of the other stuff out there? Absolutely, I think. So if you're hesitant, I know that was a lot of people's big criticism of Trey's stuff with Redbox was that they tended to be a little on the small scale. But I mean, look at this. I think he doesn't look too out of place between a typical GW human and a plastic WizKids figure. So if you've had any hesitation or trepidation in ordering any of the Redbox stuff, because I know they've been clearing out a bunch of the older figures, I would like everybody to feel comfortable and confident in their ordering and picking that stuff up, because they are really sharp figures. The Mantic Human as well. I mean, look, they look like they work really well together. Anyway, so he's going to be my warband captain. He just looks cool, looks dressed for the occasion. And finally, the last thing I painted this week is not going to be anything related to that warband. It's going to be totally unrelated with a giant monster hunter blade. This is one of the new Artisan Guild Warforged type guys. to zoom that out. I'm not 100% sure where his eyes are. In fact, it feels like he has 2 sets of eyes. Which I think he does, the more I look at it. Doesn't it look like that? Like, I got the one on the bottom, but it looks like there's one on the top as well. I better go back and double check that. Maybe I'll just give him 4 eyes. I think he'd look cool with it. I like his dragon tail there. Stuck a penny on the bottom. Not a penny. Nickel! Give him a little bit of extra heft. Especially also just to kind of counterbalance that big blade of his. I am happy I fit him on a 25mm base. He looks like he definitely could go with a bigger one, and he's really not that huge. Sometimes Artisan Guild stuff tends to be really big. But look at this. I mean, he fits right with Trey's stuff. A little bit bigger than the historical guys. Printed stuff, not so much. I think they fit in pretty well. I think it's when you get into conquest scales that things get kind of wonky. Oh man, did you guys see all the new Old Dominion stuff? Speaking of conquest, I cannot wait to get a hold of that. I did finally touch him up a little, if you guys can't tell. I've only talked about it for like a month on end, but yeah, fixed him up a little bit. Anyways, I am going to, hopefully, at the very least, I can still post stuff on Instagram, so do keep an eye on that. And if you don't follow us there, we do try to show off a lot of this stuff a lot more close up so you can see my horrid painting jobs, because I know some of you are into that, and maybe I'm just a masochist myself, and I enjoy having people talk crap about what poor job I do. No, I feel like, you know what? Any kind of victory needs to be celebrated, and the fact that we still got stuff done when I had an awfully busy week, and it is vacation now. Thank you. It does make me happy to still be able to get some models finished and painted. And oh my god, this has got to be my resolution for like the 25th year in a row, is trying to get some actual games in with all this stuff. I hate to even try to go back and count up, because I mean, it's coming. End of the year's coming. I got to start thinking about what are my favorite models of this last year. But also using it in a freaking game. My god, I keep painting and painting and painting and painting and painting, but nothing gets used. So I'm going to have to try to remedy that. I really do want to. Especially, I keep complaining about the fact that I just got my Eon Trespass Odyssey. I don't know if I've complained about it here. I've definitely complained about it to other people, but I want to get that on the table. But I got to clear off all this stuff first. So hopefully, once I am back in town, that can happen. So I will wish everybody a fond and pleasant week. I will be in touch with everybody later. If you absolutely need to get a hold of me, you know where to reach me. There is a link to our channel's email on somewhere here on YouTube, maybe on the About or somewhere. I don't know. You can find it. You can hit me there. I'll try to answer it hopefully by Thursday. You can always reach me on Instagram. And so I will bid you all a fond farewell for the next few days. Hopefully I will come back rested and relaxed and ready to paint and show off plenty of stuff. I will have that hashtag weekly painting progress, showing off all these goodies on Instagram like I already said. And I'm going to stop talking so I can go finish packing. So with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.